Hello friends, my name is RagePanda1 and I have a confession to make. I guess it all started a few weeks ago when I started this free-to-play account and, well, I just started neglecting my main account a little bit. Just a little bit. I've been doing all of my daily stuff. I've been getting most of my quests, picking up my leaderboard diamonds. I've been checking in for the guild for everybody else, and not much else. And now that I got some new fun characters that I really want to mess around with and play with, that's gonna be changing. In fact, it's gotten so bad that if I click on my altar, I'm just gonna leave this in real time and not change anything and move my mouse so you can tell it's not a screenshot. It don't like it. BlueStacks do not like it when I open up the altar, and the reason is because I have 11 bojillions of characters just chilling on my account. I don't have a hoarding problem. I just probably need them all. So yeah, we're gonna be dealing with that in this episode, and obviously it is going to take hours to get through all of that. So first I'm going to talk you through my plans, and then I'm going to show you what actually happened, which will probably be different than my plans. I do have a little of ascension that I can do on my female Devala. I have a lot of work that could be done in my districts. The problem with the districts is that some of that work involves using warriors, and I do not want to use any warrior ascension materials right now, and I really, really love using male Samir. I think he looks awesome. I love his kit. I think his kit looks awesome. Like, it's fun to watch it on the field. And so I want to build my team around this character, not because he's the best character in the game, although I believe he's very good. It's because I like him the best right now. He is my favorite character right now, personally speaking. So I'm going to build my personal team around this character. That does not mean that you have to do that. It does mean you should build your team around whichever character is your favorite character, though. I think that's good advice because honestly, you can succeed with a lot of stuff in this game. You do not need to be using the top of the top all of the time to be able to compete or win or do anything. In fact, a lot of the time, even in PvP, it comes down to who's got more power on the team. I think you know that by now. So min-maxing can be fun, and it's I'm kind of going to be doing that, but that's why I'm going to make some of the decisions that I'm going to make. My team is likely going to still have my female Devala. It's definitely going to have male Aeson and male Lume on the team because they're an amazing combo and they make the male Samir shine even greater than he ever did before. And then I want to try using male Lionstone because we've got 3 damage dealers here, we've got 2 frontliners with that, and we got just a ton of support in both damage and healing aspects, which means I'm going to be trying to get a hulking probably onto my male Lionstone. May even try to make that in the hybrid slot. And I got a ton of marrying for vigor to do because I got hundreds of mythics, literally hundreds of mythics that I just don't need. Aside from all of that, if I have a bunch of extra Travains by the end of it, I do want to get my female Travain leveled up higher because I love using her in boss events. It's really, really cool to see those huge numbers, and so I just need her to be a little bit bigger so that I can use her for that purpose. Now, if I was trying to min-max my account in general, I already have a decent team with a solid direction. I don't need to reascend through some of these star levels. I could just go with this team. I could just level them up from here and have a bigger, stronger team. That's just not what I want to do. I want to do what I like to do, and so sometimes if it seems like my account is standing still, that'll be why it seems that way, because I have a lot of different stuff that's ascended to some degree that's been tried out various times through various points in my account. A lot of these things, like having all of these 8 stars, got ascended to 8 stars when the rest of my team was only 9 or 10 stars. So, you know, being a person who is making content for other people, I do a lot of testing. I do a lot of mucking about, as they say in Australia, probably never. And and so, you know, that's the way I like to play the game. That's how I have fun with the game, not necessarily chasing the finish line, but enjoying the ride and smelling the flowers. Hopefully, I don't brick my account by doing what I'm gonna do. Well, that was an ordeal, but it was actually really fun, and it was really nice to spend a lot of time playing the game. Now you can see that I got just a ton of these materials for leveling up my equipment, including 1,300 of these blue coins and 88 of the purple ones. Those numbers are too high. I should be using these items, but I'm gonna end up using all of them that are available to get my team as powerful as possible. And I gotta say that this team do be performing. It really do. I do have my female Lion Stone on the team right now, and that's because I just didn't have any Ascension materials at all for the male Lion Stone, and I wasn't about to spend any of my resources doing that because with the Naga coming out, I need to have a bunch of warriors for Ascension, as I just cleaned them out making my Samir. So we can see that I got just a ton of warriors in the oven right now, getting all cooked up, and that's going to continue. I'm going to just keep pumping those out as much as possible because I want to be able to make both of the Naga huge, and man, that's going to take a lot. Also, why is this exactly Sarah Jessica Parker from the Hocus Pocus movie? I also did a bunch of marrying to get some vigor levels up. Male Samir went up to 21. I put somebody who was like 9 vigor in him and only got 1 level, but I did get my male Lume up to 18, which is pretty decent. 2 extra levels on my male Aeson. He was at 15. And we did a little bit of restructuring of traits here. Now, it's in a bit of a weird spot because, like I said, I want to use my male Lion Stone here. And my female Lion Stone already has Sanguine, and she has hulking. So that doesn't really play together the way that I want it to play together. And also the speed tuning is not going to be correct for my team because I don't want to break her traits just to match this team that I'm trying out right now when she's not even meant to be on the team in the first place. But for my male Aeson, we have brutal, fierce, agile, and honorable. The reason we're going honorable here instead of energetic is because number 1, I found it first and I'm lazy. And number 2, when you're running in a healer comp, it's easy to get more value out of honorable than energetic if you're running with a really strong healer. And part of what I'm doing is focusing on getting a really strong healer. So since that female Aeson is on the team that's got hulking and sanguine already, unfortunately we have 2 copies of sanguine on the team, but that's just the way it is for now. I did want to have hulking in my hybrid trait slot, but there was no reason to marry it on considering the team that I'm going to be using for now. And focused would be another option, but actually I think in this configuration, what I would want is aggressive. I'm not so sure that having agile and focused on male Lume is always the best, because what I'm going for is big healing on here, and the revives are luck based anyway. Whether you have agile and focused on, it doesn't really increase the odds that you're gonna hit that revive. And right now I'm hitting the revive perfectly almost every time. Literally almost every round. My Samir goes in, tanks for an extraordinarily long time, and when he dies, he's getting picked up anyway. So the speed tuning here just happens to be working out, although I want to have hulking on this guy when my female Lion Stone is no longer on the team. I switched my Samir into having honorable and energetic, and that's part of the reason why he's living so long, because we got lots of healing going out, we got those male Aeson shields going out, and man, it is working out. My Deval is still boring and orange and only has these boring traits, but they are good traits and they do make her do a lot of the stuff I want her to do. So I'm gonna finish upgrading equipment before we do some actual testing that you get to witness with your eyeballs. If we head back into my altar, we can see that it still lags a little bit when I try to go into it. All of these other parts are being saved. You're going to see a whole lot of scorching fire here, and that's because I don't have the companion. So I'm not going to use up these copies that I've gotten through random summons when I don't have the companion, and I may need to test a team or want to test a team that involves these characters. And now I'll be able to, if I wanted to make a good male scorching fire right now, I have a lot of the parts that I need. If I wanted to make a good female one, I even got the mythic, and she could be probably part of the team right now. I do have an idea for a team that involves both of those characters, but I don't have the stuff to actually finish it out right now. And the same is true in all of these categories. I have a ton of people that I don't have the companion, and so I'm not going to use their parts because I feel like that's wasteful. And unfortunately with the Orost clan, I summoned on it and nothing even really got built. The female went to 8-star, and tank materials are just so hard to come by these days, you know? So that one's a bit disappointing, but I did stop putting resources into her because they were not correct about the stats that they advertised for her. So it was pretty disappointing for me when that happened. And with all of the ascending that we did, we got 2 extra stars on the Lume, we got 1 extra star on the Aeson and the Devala, and we got 1 extra star on our female Trevain, which took way more materials than the other ones because you have to ascend up from 1 star to get the extra copies. So that was an ordeal. But with all the marrying off of all of these things, I don't have nearly the 200 Travains sitting around that I had before, so at least that's cleared out a little bit. So I've gotten every piece of equipment on my team to roughly level 10, a couple are level 12, and my female Lionstone has a couple that are not quite level 10 yet, but that's okay. And I cleared out all of these ones that were completed, so you don't have to worry your little heads about it, but I did also fill them back up specifically with Doombringers because that's most efficient for my courting purposes. It gives me a better chance of getting noble and confident on a male Doombringer without having to marry anything onto him, and also they're 3-star, so they're going to be perfect Ascension materials whether they end up being usable characters or not. All I was able to find here was a considerably stronger team, and the strategy here is actually not as easy as it seems because I want to keep the female Ugril away from all of these people. She's already kind of not going over there, but I do want the male Lionstone to die as soon as possible. And also you have to consider the Samir does increase people's energy gain rate a little bit by spinning on them, so I think I'm going to leave it the way that I've got it and hope for the best. I have no idea how this is going to perform or if I'm going to be able to beat this team that's so much higher than me, but hey, we're here having fun, aren't we? Already in the back lines, already getting perfectly healed and happy about it. You'll notice that I'm not taking as much damage from ranged attacks, and guess what? That's because our female Lionstone provides that, and nobody ever talks about it for some reason, even though it's incredibly strong. Just helps your whole team survive quite a bit. But this team is way stronger. Well, I guess they're not way stronger than me now that we're in the match. I hate that so much. They were only 1,000,000 stronger than me, but they got their butts kicked. And male Samir, female Devala, male Aeson all did roughly even damage, and my boy be tanking. That's for sure. And that's partially because I did almost 14 million healing. I saw somebody saying that your healer won't even make up for the damage of one character, so why would you even put a healer on your team? And my healer erased their number 2 and number 3 damage dealers completely off the board, or you could call it their number 1 and number 4 damage dealers off the board. But I think that's significant, don't you? Alright, we've got a different large team here, and we are going to ignore the female Lionstone once again. Part of the reason we're switching sides with our Samir here is because the Doombringer has an AoE sort of attack, and we want to keep him away from the team with that, so we want to push him back first. Big stun right as the female Lionstone ult goes out. That's always super helpful. Although we did lose our Samir there, he got his revive. And that's what we like to see, but I don't think this one's going to go our way. Maybe. My word. It started to look real hairy there, and then the shields and revives and heals just kept coming out. And you know what? That's the whole point of the team, and it feels good to see it working. This time, female Devala did all of the work because a bunch of our other dudes spent their time CC'd or literally dead on the ground. And when we look at our healing this time, we see it's like 24 million. The reason for that is because your revives count as healing because you are restoring health, and it restores quite a bit of health when you do that. So I've seen people saying that male Lume is not good and don't ever put him on your team, and I think that we're showing here that that is not the case. He is very strong, especially when you put him with male Aeson. That's likely to be my team henceforth until the Naga come out. And you'll notice also I have 19,000 diamonds here. I'm probably coming pretty close to the day where I'll get my content creator bonus on that, and I am really hoping to find some might packs coming soon. I think they're coming up next. Certainly by the end of the Naga event, it will be here, and I'll be a happy guy. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this little peek into my plans of team building and what I'm thinking while I'm doing it. I have been Rage Panda 1, and I will see you in the next one.